Well, for me personally, I'd have to say the biggest gain was that I stopped putting things off. It's been 8 weeks since I took the course. I wanted to lose 15 pounds. I did it. It's gone. I wanted to join a gym. I did it. I've been working out. Feels great. Those business calls that you feel intimidated about, get rid of the intimidation. You do it. Financially, it comes back to you. Not wanting to call my mother, no problem. Call her all the time. Just all the things that I wanted to golf. My tee time is 9:20 tomorrow. Just things that you had blockages for. You get rid of those blockages and you just go for it. So personally, that was a gain, and the rest of the gains just followed just by getting rid of all the garbage that was in the way. So it's really been a terrific 2 months. Yeah, I'm amazed.
Before we work on the next thing we'll be working on, let's review what we've accomplished up until this point. So take your large chart of emotions out for a minute, and we'll review everything we've covered up until now. So just to review what we've accomplished up until this point, we've come a long way. We started with just identifying whatever we were feeling in the moment, then tracing it to the root feeling, like the apathy, the grief, the lust, the anger, the pride, or even the courageousness, acceptance, and peace. And as you saw, as you let go of a little bit of that feeling, you're letting go of a little bit of everything underneath it. Then yesterday, or the last couple of tapes, we focused on the wanting approval and wanting control. And then we saw that the wanting approval and wanting control was underlying, or all the feelings. So every time you let go of a little bit of the wanting approval or the wanting to control, you were letting go of everything underneath it. Now we've added the wanting security, or wanting survival. That's what's at the root of everything. If you let go of all of your wanting security or survival, you'll be completely imperturbable. So if you would take a moment and write on your chart the wanting security or survival right here above where we have wanting approval and control, in between imperturbability and those two little boxes. That will be a reminder to you that that is the root of all of this. Now, just to take a step back for a moment, some of you may have been wondering where thinking fits into all this. Well, the reason we don't focus a lot on thinking in this course is that thinking is all the way at the bottom. Every one of even these smaller individual feelings is made up of sometimes hundreds or thousands of thoughts. So every time that you let go of some of the wanting approval, control, or survival, not only are you letting go of all the feelings underneath it, but you're also letting go of all the millions of thoughts. That's why a lot of you may have noticed already that as you release, your mind gets a lot quieter without you trying to do anything about it. And that's also why we don't encourage people to do positive thinking. There's nothing wrong with positive thinking. It's certainly much better than negative thinking. But I think you can start to see that if you're working all the way down here, you're going to be in trouble. But if you're willing to start letting go of the three wants, your thinking is automatically going to get a lot more positive. And the results you'll see in your life will be very dramatic. So let's continue by working on the next release sheet. Turn to the page in your book that says seeing your wanting approval, wanting to control, and wanting security. It should be the next page in your workbook. Now this sheet can be a lot of fun because the purpose of this sheet is to start to show you how to see your wanting approval, wanting to control, and wanting survival when it's in operation. Once you start to recognize it, it makes it easier and easier to start letting it go. If you don't see it, it's hard to let go of it. But once you see it, you can start letting it go. So what I'd like you to do is take a few moments and list the ways that you seek approval, try to control, and seek security. And when you've completed that, we'll start again. Before we get started, I just want to remind you at home and you here, there's nothing wrong with anything that you put down on this list. Just because you put it down doesn't mean you have to stop doing it. I mean, one of the ways most of us seek approval is by giving gifts. That doesn't mean you have to stop giving gifts. All it means is if you're about to give a gift, check to see which want is stirred up. If you release it first, maybe you'll give a different gift. Maybe you won't give someone, you may have someone on your gift list that you really don't want to give a gift to. You're just wanting their approval, and you give it to them every year. Might save you a little money. So you'll see that as you start to let go of the wanting approval and wanting to control, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to modify your behavior. All you'll be doing is freeing yourself from the compulsion to have to do some of these things. So you have more of a choice. So who'd like to start? And we'll go around. We'll work on one of each. Is that a volunteer?
Yes, that's a volunteer.
Okay, great. Okay.
Seek approval. Be nice.
Be nice?
I feel like you have to be nice.
A lot of people feel that way. Okay. And which one does that stir up?
Approval.
Right now? Approval?
Yeah.
I'll be quiet and just let you release it.
Okay.
Okay. What about control?
I can get real irritated or just be real cold to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a way of trying to get them to come over to my way of thinking.
Sure. Okay. And does that stir up the wanting to control as you talk about it?
Yeah.
Are you letting it go?
Yeah, that's a pretty dumb one. It doesn't work.
No. No one said these things worked.
Okay. The other one?
Yes. And wanting.
Having money in the bank.
Okay, that's one of the ways you try to get security.
Security, yeah.
Yes. Okay. And as you talk about it, can you get a sense of that wanting security?
Yeah. Some of it went away.
Some. You're holding on to some, though,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And are you wanting to control your security?
Yes.
There it goes.
Okay.
Did you let it go?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did.
Give yourself some checks all around.
Okay, thank you.
So, who'd like to go next? Rodney.
I've got one on the...
Well, start with the top. Start with the approval.
It's the same as hers. It was being nice.
Oh, okay.
Same thing. And I had second on mine was paying taxes.
Paying taxes? That's the way you try to get approval?
In effect, so the IRS won't be on my case.
Okay. Some people do that for security, too. Oh, no.
That could be true, too.
Yeah. Okay. But are you aware of any... Which want are you aware of in the moment as you talk about it?
Probably being approval.
Approval?
Definitely.
Okay, I'll be quiet and let you release it.
Okay, feels better.
Okay. What about on the control?
Control side, by trying hard at what I do to control desired outcome. Sometimes I try too hard. I overcompensate, put forth more energy than I really need to.
Sure. Okay. And are you aware of any of the wanting to control right now?
Yes. Yeah, it's a little bit chronic in my personality.
Mm.
Thing that I need to get rid of.
Okay, so just allow yourself to become aware of the wanting to control. Did you let it go?
Most of it.
Well, so you're saving some, okay.
Save a little bit.
A little bit, okay. And is that more the wanting to control?
Yes.
Did you let it go?
Releasing.
Good. Terrific. And what about on the wanting security?
I think security, I said conserving my spending.
Conserving your spending? Okay. And again...
I'll put the Social Security taxes down there. The income taxes above.
Okay. That's funny. Okay, so are you aware of any of the wanting security right now?
Yes. Feels better. That's an easier one than the middle one for me.
Good. Terrific. All right, good. So who else?
Thank you.
Michael. So let's start with the way that you seek approval.
I get a paycheck.
Get a paycheck? Okay.
It's approval.
Okay. Are you releasing it?
Yeah.
As you can see, a lot of these can have more than one want attached to them. Sometimes you can put one thing on all three.
Okay. Yeah, I feel good about that.
Okay. And what about on the control? What'd you write down for a way that you seek control?
By thinking or analysis.
By thinking or analysis. That's a big way for most of us.
It's approval.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's control, too.
Okay. Are you letting them go?
Yeah, the approval went away. The control went away.
Good.
Yeah.
More checks.
Okay.
And what about the ways that you seek security?
By hugs.
Hugs?
Getting hugs.
Okay.
Yeah. It feels good.
What, the hugs or the releasing? All the above, I understand.
But not wanting the hugs, just
Right.
the hugs.
Right. Okay, good. Did you let go of the wanting to?
Great. Yeah.
Okay, great. Terrific. Who wants to go next? Mary. Let's start with the control.
The top one is approval.
Oh, then let's start with approval. I'm not particular.
Okay. Cooking for others.
Cooking for others? Okay.
Get approval from that. I can let that go.
Good. What about control?
Getting clients to say yes. Closing.
Closing the deal. Right.
My boyfriend accuses me of always doing.
You're closing all the time, right? Right.
Get people to say yes to what I want.
Okay. Now you're aware of the wanting to control there?
Yeah.
I think you're letting it go.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And what about security?
Setting my alarm system in my house every time I go out.
Mm-hmm.
That gives me a feeling of security.
Okay.
That I can't let go of that.
Remember, not the action. There's nothing wrong with the action. I'll tell you an interesting story about that, although it'll probably start more of you wanting security. If you ever noticed, very often when there's one robbery in an area, all of a sudden there's a rash of robberies. It has nothing. It's not like all the robbers get together and say, "Hey, let's hit this neighborhood." It has nothing to do with that. One person has a robbery. All the other neighbors get their wanting security stirred up. So they're going, "Oh no, I hope that doesn't happen to me." What are they holding in mind? It's going to happen to me.
I've been robbed twice. So
Right. See. So every time you turn on the alarm, if you don't release the wanting security, you're holding in mind, "Oh, I hope this will protect me from those robbers who are about to come in my house." So it's nothing. There's nothing wrong with turning on the alarm, but if you release each time, that's what's going to make your house safer than any alarm system.
I put the alarm on for good measure, just in case.
Right. I think you're still wanting security. You hear what I just said? I said, take the action, just release.
Okay.
Did you let go of the wanting security?
Yeah.
Okay, good. But just look, do this ongoing. Every time you go to set the alarm, let go of wanting security.
Okay.
Okay? Good. So who else?
I'll give you mine.
Okay, great.
Some of them are in common. it seems the international language for approval is money, so buying things for others.
Buying things for others. Okay.
And that was easy to let go because we discussed it at lunch. When David bought me lunch, I gave him all the approval he needed.
See, it sometimes works. That's funny.
I even put a check for you.
What about control?
Control, definitely intellectually manipulate people.
Okay.
That's probably bad, but
Wait. What about the release?
that one's a tough one that I've worked with before, as a matter of fact.
Well, but right now, let's get a release or two right now.
Okay.
Just allow yourself to become aware of the one you control.
Yeah, let that one go.
Good. Is there any more?
Yeah, there's still a little bit there.
All right. Might as well let all the wine you control that's there now. Might as well let it all go.
Feels much better.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. What about the wanting security?
Something that I looked at in ways in which I do, and I found the most common thing that I think I do is isolate myself. Go home.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm away from all the people that I'm seeking approval from, and well, maybe just other than myself, I feel most secure when I'm away from all the external risks that are out there.
Sure, isolating. That's a big one for many people, especially today. All right, so could you just allow yourself to become aware of the wanting security?
Definitely. Yeah, let that go too.
Good. Terrific. All right, who else would like to do it? Dave.
On approval, by volunteering or doing or giving, I think is the ways that I tend to seek approval in many, many instances.
Like at lunch.
Exactly like at lunch, because under control, I might add.
Wait, let's get a release first. You want to hold on to that one. I like being a volunteer. Now, again, remember, there's nothing wrong with the behavior. But as you release, you'll have a choice. Sometimes you'll volunteer totally out of free choice, and you'll feel good about it. But right now, I'm sure there are lots of times you volunteer and you go, oh, I can't believe I just volunteered for that. Why did I knew I shouldn't have volunteered? So go back and see if you can just become aware of the wanting approval. And remember, it doesn't mean you can't volunteer if you still want to.
Okay. I got in touch with that and let it go.
Good. Okay. Now what about on the control?
On the control, for example, Chris thought I was seeking approval. In fact, I was being very manipulative because I was trying to control him. Because there's something I'm going to have him do for me. So, as a result, I was controlling.
So what did you put down there? Manipulation? Is that what you have?
Manipulate people in an attempt to control them.
Okay.
And I'm embarrassed to say that, but it's true.
So which one does it stir up now? The wanting approval or the wanting to control?
Control.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you let it go? Okay, good.
I did.
Now what about the security? What's some way you seek security?
Actually, working gives me a sense of security, because through that I feel a financial freedom, I guess.
Okay. So you're aware of any of the wanting security right now?
I did. I think I let that go.
Good.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Yeah. Feels better. Thanks.
All right. You're welcome. Anyone else want to do one? Did everyone do one yet?
No, I'm left.
You're left?
I'm left.
Does that mean you want to do one?
Yeah, I'll do one.
Okay, great. So let's start at the top. What's one of the ways that you... What's one of the ways that you seek approval?
Okay, so many here.
Just pick your favorite.
Okay, one of my favorites is to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one.
You like that one? Okay. It's another popular one.
Yeah. Chosen by many.
All right. Are you aware of the wanting approval?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Did you let it go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it still somewhere?
I kind of had to let go of wanting to let that go, too.
Oh, okay.
I kind of did that.
I mean, the control the release.
The controlling, yeah. The control of the release.
Okay. Now, what about on control? What's one of the ways that you try to control?
I correct people.
Correct people?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, if they make a mistake, they're not perfect.
Right.
I want to make sure they know.
Right.
If they're not perfect, I am.
Are you releasing the wanting to control? Good.
Yeah, making this list is, I can see this is going to be good.
Right. By the way, I would definitely suggest that you continue going with it. Whatever you've written down so far, just keep going with it, because it's really an eye-opener. Mm-hmm. It will really help you start to undo a lot of the wanting approval and wanting control, right, and the wanting security.
Right. Yeah.
What about, speaking of security?
Speaking of that, one of the ways that I think one of the ways that I really feel secure is it's a good case in point, confusion. Mm-hmm. And that allows me to not make a mistake.
Right. Keeping yourself in confusion.
I keep it, yeah. And so I don't make a decision. Mm-hmm. I keep analyzing. I keep,
Sure. So. Again, that's a real popular one. I mean, a lot of people hide in that.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So just allow yourself to become aware of the wanting security.
Okay. Good.
Did you let it go?
Yeah.
Did you let it all go?
No.
I didn't think so.
Do I have to?
No, you don't have to. You can hold on to it as long as you want.
I may not survive if I let this go.
Now, again, you can still choose to be confused. Mm-hmm. But don't you notice that often you're automatically just in a state of confusion and you can't even get yourself out of it?
Right.
Because it's just running. You don't have a
choice.
choice.
It's not a place I would consciously choose to be, but I think subconsciously somehow it's safe.
Well, it seems safe.
Seems safe.
I don't know how safe it is to be confused, but it seems safe.
And that's why I'd like to let it go.
All right, so just allow yourself to become aware of that wanting security.
It's real hard to get in touch with that.
Yeah, you're wanting to control it.
Yeah.
Could you let that go?
A little bit.
A little bit. It's okay. This is a deep issue for you.
Now I'm wanting approval.
Now you're wanting approval for how you're releasing? Or just wanting approval in general?
Approval that I'm releasing from you.
Right.
Yeah.
Could you allow that to release?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. How's it now?
I think it's going to need some work. I think I feel better.
Okay, well, you can keep going on your own. Sure, that's fine. Why don't you just keep going on your own? Yeah. Okay, I'll take you off the hook.
Will you?
Yes, I will.
I must have released. President of my games.
Right.
No, thanks.
Okay, good. Okay, anyone else want to do another one? You want to just keep going on your own. You can keep going as I'm working with the home viewer. So why don't we do some work together now? Start with something way that you seek approval. Just allow yourself to focus on it. And just allow yourself to become aware of which want it stirs up in the moment as you focus on that. Is it a wanting approval, a wanting control, or a wanting security? Now I'll just allow you to let it go. I know you can do it. Okay. Now just check that same item again, that way that you seek approval, and see if there's any more want stirred up in the moment. And whatever want it is, could you allow it to release? Okay, now let's take a way that you try to control. Whichever one you're focusing on, just allow the want to come up into your awareness. The wanting approval, wanting control, or wanting security. And as it comes into your awareness, see if you can just keep letting it go. Sometimes it comes in waves. So as each wave comes up, just allow yourself to let it go. Now focus on that item again, just to check. See if there's any more wanting approval, wanting control, or wanting security there right now. And as you become aware of it, could you just allow it to release? Okay, now let's focus on a way that you seek security or survival. Now, as you focus on that item, see which want it stirs up. Does it stir up the wanting security, or is it a wanting approval or wanting control? And again, you can just use these pauses here for your own releasing. Now focus on that item again, that way that you seek security or survival. And just see if you can allow that want to come into your awareness and then easily allow it to release. Okay, now I suggest you keep going on your own. Take as long as you need to complete the sheet. And it's also a sheet you can keep coming back to. Keep adding as you catch yourself, this is a way I try to control, or this is a way I seek approval. Write it down and release. And it's good to keep a running tab on this because it will help you see clearly when you are wanting approval, wanting control, or wanting security or survival.
So now we're going to work on our next release sheet. So turn in your books to the page that says happiness. What we're all looking for is to be happy. It's something that we all have in common. The bottom line is that we want to be happy. And the fact is that we're very often looking for happiness in all the wrong places. And we wonder why we get disappointed. What we're going to be doing on this worksheet is looking at what it is that you need in order to be happy. And also the other side, what it is that you need to avoid in order to be happy. and exploring the wants that are connected there with that and letting those go. So I'm just going to give you a moment here to write down some of the things that you need in order to be happy and some of the things that you need to avoid in order to be happy. Let's just take a moment to do that. So let's do some releasing on this sheet together now. And those of you at home, just release along as you're watching others release, focusing on the things that you've discovered for yourself and releasing the wants around that. So who would like to go first? Let's take a pair from each of you. Michael.
Okay.
What is it that you need in order to be happy?
I need time. I need time to be happy.
Oh, okay. And what want is there when you think about that? The want.
Control.
Okay. Just going to give you a moment to release that yourself, Michael. Okay, good. All right. What is something that you need to avoid in order to be happy?
Traffic.
Okay. What does that stir up?
Control.
All right.
Okay, no, that's good. That feels good.
Okay, good. Just carry on working on your own on this list, taking each thing. Give yourself a couple of checks there. So who's next? Rodney.
Yes.
What do you need in order to be happy?
To do what I want to do.
Okay. And which want is connected with that? The wanting approval?
Control.
Okay.
Definitely.
Allow yourself to focus on that. I'm just going to let you release it. Okay, good.
That was better.
All right. And on the other side, what is it that you need to avoid?
Debt.
Ah, okay. And which one gets stirred up there?
Security, partially.
Uh-huh. Okay. So just allow yourself to be aware of the wanting security. Okay. Okay, good. Just wanted to say to you, and especially on the first one, in what you need in order to be happy, it's not that you shouldn't have those things. Again, it's just the wanting that's connected with that you're letting go of. You should have that. No, that's wonderful. It's just the wanting and the conflict that gets stirred up with that we're letting go of. Okay, good. Thank you. So who's next? Dave. What is it that you need in order to be happy?
I think good relationships.
Okay. And what want is there in the moment about that?
Control.
All right. Okay.
Let that go.
Good. What else? What do you need to avoid in order to be happy?
Well, obviously, poor relationships.
Uh-huh.
But I think a lack of financial freedom is important in that aspect to me, probably.
Okay. And which one is underlying that? The approval or the control or the security, survival?
Security.
Okay.
Let that go.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Getting easier and easier all the time.
Yeah, really does. Okay.
Yeah.
So give yourself a couple of checks there.
Thank you.
And just keep going with your list, focusing on whatever else you have there. Oh, who's next? Okay, Cheryl. What's something that you need in order to be happy?
I need to release.
Okay. And what's the want connected there?
I think it's control.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you let it go?
Yes, I did.
Good.
Okay.
And on the other side then, what is it that you need to avoid?
Feeling like I have no money.
Okay. And what want does that store up?
I think that's security. Boy, it's like it just started and then it's like boom, not going anywhere.
You're wanting to control your security?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Just go back to it and check, see if there's any more wanting security.
It's like it's still going. It feels really good.
Okay, good. It's just releasing. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So who else?
I have some that I can let go. I put the first thing down, what I need in order to be happy is self-approval.
Oh, okay.
And the moment I wrote it down, I had to let it go because all approval.
All right.
So let that go. And what I need to avoid, I put conflict, and no matter what aspect I'm looking at, a personal relationship, working relationship, whatever,
Okay.
avoid conflict.
What want does that store up?
Control.
All right.
And, yeah, I can let that go.
Okay, good. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Okay, what I need in order to be happy is independence.
Oh, okay.
And just all together. And I think that's security.
Okay, so just allow yourself to be aware of it.
Okay.
Did you let it go?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
What is it that you need to avoid in order to be happy?
One of the things that I think I need to avoid are people that abuse alcohol and drugs.
Okay. And which want gets stirred up there?
I think control is one that
Yeah.
I feel.
Just going to give you a moment to allow it to release.
After I can feel that go. I think survival really.
Okay.
There's a lot of
Yeah. And just allow yourself to be aware of that wanting survival. Just see, could you let it go?
yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
How is it now?
It's a lot better.
Good.
Yeah.
You can give yourself a couple of checks there too. You know, the bottom line is, as you continue letting go of your wants, you're just going to get happier and happier. And so when you've let go of them all, you're happy all of the time. There is one other thing, though, too, and that is, as I mentioned slightly earlier, we do have a tendency to look for our happiness in other people, other situations, work, money. And the fact is that really it's not there. It's not that you shouldn't have those things, but the true happiness is really within you. It's inside of you all of the time. And as you release, what you're going to be doing is uncovering that and letting that come through. You are naturally happy. It's just all the negativity and the wants that are on top of that. And as you let go, that's just going to come through more and more and more. So look for the happiness inside of you. We think it's out there, and in fact, it's really right here. So if you'll start looking and identifying with it being inside of you, you're just going to move that much faster too, but have all those wonderful things too. Okay, so let's do some releasing now with a home viewer. And follow along, just continue writing on your list the things that you need in order to be happy and the things that you need to avoid as I work with those at home. So, just pick something off of your sheet that you need in order to be happy. Something you feel you need. What's the underlying want connected with that one thing? Is it the wanting approval, the wanting to control, or the wanting security, survival? Now that you're aware of it, I'm just going to be quiet and allow you to let it go. Just check, see if there's any more of it there. Did you let it go? Now on the other side, find something that you need to avoid in order to be happy. And just allow yourself to be aware of the want that's connected with that. Just allow yourself to let it go. Let's pick something else that you need in order to be happy. Whatever that thing is, just allow yourself to become aware of the want that's there with that. And just allow yourself to release it. And now on the other side, pick something else that you need to avoid in order to be happy. And allow yourself to identify the want that's there about that. I'll be quiet while you just let it go. I'll let you continue on your own. You really don't need me here to ask you the questions. You can just allow the want to come into your awareness and allow it to release. But you don't even really need to ask yourself the questions. Just allow yourself to focus on whatever want is there and allow it to release. And so keep going until you've addressed the things on your list that you're wanting to avoid and also that you feel you need in order to be happy. Until you feel good. So take some extra time to do that. And when you've done that, take a break for yourself. Just to continue your releasing.
When I first took the method, I was, the first weekend I was very confused. I really didn't understand. I really wasn't in touch with a lot of my feelings or didn't want to be. And when they introduced wanting control and wanting approval, that confused me even a little bit more. But I kept using it. I released on little things that I could, and I waited to release on larger issues in my life. But I noticed amazing things happened the first week after I took the method. I mean, between the 2 weekends, I made a couple of sales, and some unexpected things happened that I never thought about. I mean, they just happened. And I didn't think I was getting it. But obviously I was getting it. And I just continued with it. And by the second week, I understood it a lot better and a lot clearer.
The greatest benefit I've received from it has to do with my role as a father. I have 5 children, and raising children for me is the greatest challenge in my life, a lot tougher than business or anything else that I do. And I found that by being able to release, I'm able to be very supportive and loving to my children and still give them the discipline that they need. So it's enabled me to really find a balance as a parent and also not have my life consumed by raising my children. I'm able to do a lot of other things as well.
What we're going to be doing now is have you write some gains for us. There's a page in your book, the next page along, that's headed gains. And as we're nearing the close of the class here, I'd just like to give you the opportunity to write down some of the gains that you've had. So we're going to take some time here. I'm going to give you some time to do this. It can be small gains, it can be large gains, it can be general gains, but gains that you feel that you have had from the class so far. In fact, those of you at home, I'd also like you to do this too. Take some time now and look in your gains book if you need to refresh your memory, but write down some of those gains. There's a couple of reasons for this. One of the reasons is, again, it will validate you for your progress. Another reason is, I'd like you to send your gains in to us. We really want to know how you're doing and hear your gains from taking the course. There's also another reason. When we receive your gains sheets, you are considered a graduate. You have finished the class, and you will automatically receive from us our newsletter, and you'll also automatically get to hear of anything else that we do. We have graduate get-togethers at times, and you'll be notified of those things. So it's really important to us that you send those in so you can receive that information. Also, if you have other people who are doing the course with you, make sure that they send in their gains too, and that way they can have that information. Okay, so take the time now to write your gains, and don't forget to send them in to us.
As you can see, we've really accomplished quite a bit up until this point, and there's a few more things I want to do with all of us here and those of you at home. But before we do that, I just have a couple of things to remind you about having to do with your special area of interest workbooks. First of all, please complete the book that you've started all the way through the last section. And if you want to, you can go back and complete the other 2 workbooks, the ones you haven't worked with yet, and take them all the way from the beginning all the way to the end. But in the beginning, last week, we were working with feelings. You don't need to go back to working with feelings. All you need to do is focus on the 3 wants and use the sheets to help bring up the 3 wants and let them go. Turn to the page in your workbook that says the 6 steps at the top of it. It's right after the sheet that says gains. Now, the 6 steps are really a summation of everything we've been doing up until this point. The reason we bring them out at the very end is these would just be words up until this point. But we've really covered, from many different angles, everything on this sheet. Now, the first step of the 6 steps is you must want imperturbability more than you want approval, control, or security. If you don't want the imperturbability, you're not going to release. And your wanting imperturbability is what enabled you to complete the tapes and also be here throughout the whole 4 days. It's what a lot of people hear about this course. We're starting to be available now on television. There are radio commercials. We've done mailings. The word is really starting to get out. But only a small percentage of people really make the choice to go for their freedom. you're a special group of people. Those of you here taking the class and those of you at home, you're a special person because you are really wanting that imperturbability more than you're wanting to just want, especially the three wants, the wanting approval, the wanting to control, and the wanting security or survival. Now, another way you can use step one is very simple. You can ask yourself, if you're in the middle of a situation that you're really upset, say you're having an argument with someone you care about, and you catch yourself really wanting their approval, you can ask yourself, would I rather want this person's approval, or would I rather be imperturbable? If you ask yourself that question, it's an easy choice. Of course, you'd rather be imperturbable than sit here wanting this person's approval. It's very uncomfortable. You can use that any time where you find you're getting a little stuck. You can just ask yourself, what would I rather have, imperturbability or wanting? And I think you'll choose the imperturbability. Now, step two is decide you can do the method and be imperturbable. Now, that's something you're doing every time you use the method. You're making that decision. Yes, I can release. Yes, I can let go. Yes, I can be imperturbable. Step three is really the essence of the method, is see that all your feelings culminate in just the three wants, the wanting approval, the wanting to control, and the wanting security and survival. And see that immediately, no matter what you're doing, and immediately let go of the wanting security, the wanting survival, the wanting approval, and wanting control. As you do that, you'll develop a tremendous momentum, which brings us to the next step, which is step four. Make its use constant. Use all situations, whether alone or with people. Now that's very important. If you make releasing constant, that's where you really start to see many benefits. So releasing is not just when you take time out. You can be releasing in the middle of a conversation. You can be releasing at your office. You can be releasing at home. You can be releasing while you're driving to work. No matter what you're doing, there are always wants coming up. And you can use those wants as an opportunity to get a lot freer. Now, step five, if you're stuck, let go of wanting to control the stuckness. Now, if you notice, Nikki and I have done that with you quite a bit throughout the course, especially the second 2 days. What we've been doing is whenever you're having difficulty with releasing, all you need to do is let go of wanting to control that, and you're back on track again. It's very easy, really. It's like the escape valve of the method. If you just let go of wanting to control whatever you're experiencing in the moment, it gets better. It unhooks whatever's tight inside. And stuckness is anything where you're having a difficulty either in life or with your releasing. So use that liberally. When in doubt, let go of wanting to control it, and you'll be back on track again. Now, step six is each time you use the method, you are a bit freer and happier. If you do this continually, you will continually become freer and happier. Now, as you keep using the method and you develop a momentum, you'll see that there are many benefits. And by the way, that's the main reason we've been talking about gains a lot throughout this whole course. Because that's the way you validate step six for you. You see that, yes, I'm feeling happier, I'm feeling lighter, things are working better. And what that does is it helps bring you back to step one. It reinforces your desire for imperturbability. Because you're seeing benefits, you go, wow, I want more of this. This is great, I wonder how much better it can get. So that all the steps really work together. Now, Lester Levinson, the founder of the Sedona Institute, is a believer in simplicity. Not only did he simplify everything we've done over the past 4 days into 6 steps, recently he further simplified it into just 3. So turn the page now and take a look at your ticket to imperturbability. Now, if you carry out these 3 things, you'll gain your imperturbability very, very quickly. The first one is release only the 3 wants. And what we mean by that is sometimes we'll forget and we'll get caught up in our feelings again. Now, I don't want you to start suppressing your feelings. I don't mean don't have feelings. Of course you'll have feelings come up. But as the feelings come up, remember to start becoming more and more tuned in to what the want is in the moment and allow yourself to focus on the want and let go of that. Because the quickness of this method has to do with the fact that every time you're letting go of the wanting approval, the wanting to control, or the wanting security or survival of all limitation, the thing that causes all feelings. So stay with the 3 wants and keep releasing them. The second one is, again, Lester's really big also on being continuous with the releasing. So basically, it's very important to always be using the method no matter what you're doing. We're always doing something with our wants. We're either suppressing them or expressing them. Why not let them go? As you've seen so far, with all the releasing you've done up until this point, you've seen all the tremendous benefits that you've been getting. And by the way, this is just the beginning. This is just a small, very small taste of what you can get from releasing. You've only been doing it now for a little over a week, those of you here and also those of you at home. Imagine what it's going to be like a month from now or a year from now as you've really started to let go of a significant amount of your internal wants. It's really something to look forward to. And also, as you can tell from what we've done here in the class, as you've noticed, we've been asking the releasing questions less and less, and also, as obviously you doing at home, have had to teach yourself the method. The method is a do-it-yourself tool. You have everything you need within yourself to gain complete imperturbability. As I said a few times early in the tape, is that what we've been trying to do with these tapes is work ourselves out of a job. What we've tried to accomplish is give you everything you need so that you can reach that top state of imperturbability. And you now have everything you need to go all the way. So, congratulations. And before I say any more, I'd like to invite Nikki to come up and see what she wants to add to what I've said so far.
I would really like to thank you, both those of you at home and those of you here, for really a wonderful 4 days and for sharing this experience with us. You really have something inside of you now that you can use for the rest of your life, and it's just going to be wonderful. It's just going to continue opening up so many doors, just beyond all your expectations. And just really importantly, keep writing your games. Although we've been doing it over this 4 days and you've been doing it all through the tapes, keep it going. You'll see in a year's time, 2 years' time, you will be amazed at just how far you've come, and you'll have it there in writing. You're going to look at it and say, oh my goodness, this is what's happened. So do validate your gains. And I think it's always helpful also to put around reminders for yourself to release. I know somebody who has a little card by her computer at work, and it just says, what's my now want? She also has it on the dashboard of her car and also on her refrigerator. And you can do things for yourself. You can create your own little visual reminders too that really just spark that, release, and create those for yourself, because that's what's going to be really important in continuing your releasing. I just really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I've really enjoyed this 4 days and spending this time with you. And I guess I'd just like to tell you that I love you.
And I just want to second that. Thank you for spending this time with us. Those of you at home and those of you here, you gave us the opportunity to do something that we really love to do, which is share this wonderful technique with others. So thank you, and the biggest thank you can give us is to reach that imperturbability for yourself, because it's right there waiting for you to achieve it. So thank you, we love you, and hopefully we'll be hearing about your game soon.
Please feel free to review any part of this tape program. The more you work with it, the more you'll get out of it. Work with it until you know you've made it your own. As you work with this material, you'll see that it has been the greatest investment you've ever made in yourself. Your happiness, imperturbability, and all the other positive changes in your life will continue to accumulate. I want to thank you for investing your time in these tapes. We at the Sedona Institute would appreciate any help you could give us to get this message out to the world. Encourage your friends and family to get their own copy of this program. Please send in your gains sheet with your name and address and referral sheets at the back of your workbooks so that we can officially make you a Sedona Method graduate. Being a graduate entitles you to many benefits, including special discounts, eligibility to use our retreat, and a subscription to our newsletter, and much more. We have regular retreats and meetings scheduled at our beautiful retreat center in Sedona, Arizona. You have been seeing views from our retreat center at the beginning of each tape. Releasing is simple. Remember, all you need to do is release your wanting approval, wanting to control, and wanting security. When you are completely released and free of your wants, You will be in total control of your life and feel only love for one and for all.